Hello, everyone. This is Ashley Diet with Healthy in a Hurry Essential Oils, and I am so excited to be sharing with you all this evening. I am here from Chesapeake, Virginia, and I'm a platinum leader with Young Living. I just want to go through and give you hopefully a pretty consolidated look at what are essential oils, how to use them, and why you should use them on your body daily. And while we're doing this, if you have questions, I have this actually on YouTube and Google Hangout and on Facebook in my Facebook group. You can come and be interactive there and just ask questions and get to know these wonderful substances and how they were created to be used in our bodies. So first and foremost, just a little bit more about me. I started using essential oils almost 2 years ago, or excuse me, I should say about 20 months ago. And I use them. I have three young boys at the time. I had, one toddler and one baby. And I just was frustrated with the products that I was seeing out there, what I was using on their skin, and then what I was also using to support my own my own systems in my body and the chemicals that we had around us and what we were really taking in. And I experimented a little with a couple different oils before I settled on Young Living. And I came to Young Living because I did discover that they are the only essential oil company in the world that owns and operates their own farms and has the seed to seal guarantee. And I also just completely fell in love with the concept and the story of how the mission of our company is to have essential oils in every home in the world. And I also recall that I had a raindrop technique massage years ago at a bed and breakfast with who I thought was a hippie woman, and I knew nothing about the actual products. So I want to go ahead and get the disclaimer out of the way. I am not a doctor, and I don't ever try to practice medicine. That would require a license and a degree I simply don't have. So I'm not here to diagnose, treat, prescribe, or cure. This is for educational and informational purposes only. And I'm hoping that you will be enlightened on some new areas that you were not aware of in holistic and healthy living and how to incorporate essential oils in your daily life. And I'm hoping also you'll be able to think of one or more people who could really benefit from these substances and God's miracles that He gave to us all over our earth through our plants around us. So, first of all, what in the world are essential oils? I didn't understand this at all when I started using them. They are literally the lifeblood of the plant. And what that means is that in the plant, the essential oils are Hi, everybody. My name is Ashley Diet, and I am here from Healthy in a Hurry Essential Oils. I am so excited to be sharing with all of you this evening. I just want to go through and give you the basics of why in the world you consider using essential oils and integrating them with part of your daily routine. I want to go through how to use them, why Young Living, and then the oils that are actually contained in the premium starter kit that Young Living offers, which is an incredible deal, and it gives you wholesale membership. So I'm hoping to keep this, if I can, 30 minutes at the least. I can try to be, excuse me, I should say 30 minutes at least, but I can try to definitely keep it under an hour. So first of all, I like to go through and just give a little bit about my story. So I'm just making sure I have my resources available to me when I'm ready to use them. My story is just that I was sick of all the chemical-filled products that I was using in my home. I have 3 young boys. I had 2 younger boys at the time, and I was realizing that I was slathering my kid with all this stuff, to keep his skin healthy, and protect his immune system. And it was things I just didn't want to have in my home. I didn't want to have them on my family. I had begun cleaning with vinegar, using just a lot of stuff that was more toxin-free living. And then with myself, I am a runner and an athlete and have some stuff that I was using on my body and in my body I just didn't want to have. It was things that I knew I didn't want to be taking, things I knew I didn't want to be using topically. And we were really we were on a mission to eliminate all that stuff from our home. So that was in March of 2014. I am now doing Young Living, I would say, as my, when I say full-time job is what I mean is that's my only job, and I love it. And I'm a platinum with Young Living and just lead, and I'm so honored and grateful to lead an incredible team throughout Hampton Roads and our country, and several places all over the world. So what I want to do with you guys, first of all, is tell you what in the world an essential oil is. So an essential oil is literally the lifeblood of the plant. It is made by taking raw plant material, which means uncooked, directly harvested. Some plant material, like Melissa, it never even touches the ground after it's harvested before it's distilled. So raw plant material is gathered, and let's say, lavender is gathered. And once it's gathered, it actually is then taken and put into a stainless steel cooker. And then it's cooked on low heat and low pressure, and that's going to help really preserve the molecular structure of the oil itself. And then once it's cooked, what the essential oil actually is it's condensed, or the condensation from the top of that cook is then collected, and the essential oil will be separated from that raw plant material in the water, and that's how we get it. So it's a very lengthy process. Sometimes it can cook for up to 18 hours for one batch. It's pretty amazing to see all the labor that goes into it. I was fortunate enough to visit the Idaho Balsam Fir Farm last year in January, and got to touch and feel and taste and see and just smell the amazing essential oil of the balsam fir tree and be part of that distillation process. And I will tell you, y'all, we just don't pay enough for our oils because it was an incredibly amazing experience. So essential oils, that's how they're created, and they are literally the lifeblood of the plant, which means in the plant, their job is to restore, protect, repair, revitalize every single thing that the plant needs. The essential oil does it. So they are intelligent molecules. They're going to go directly to the source of the issue in the plant and make sure it is taken care of. They're going to keep it alive. They're going to keep it healthy. And they actually were designed by God to do the same things in our bodies. So pretty incredible right there. They've been around since even pre-biblical times. We're talking Babylonian tablets. In the Bible, there's over 600 references to essential oil usage. So pretty incredible the historical usage of essential oils and how smart people really were. We've just gotten away from that. We have just gotten to a place in our society where we simply aren't using them in the way that they were designed by our creator to be used. So I'm glad you're here with me to learn more about how you can get your hands on them. So all those things, more things with science with them, is they actually are able to permeate our cell membrane. That's crazy. A lot of things can't permeate that cell membrane because the molecules are too large. So they actually help clean our cell receptor sites that can get clogged with petrochemical waste and just nastiness. And when they're clogged up, toxins can't get out. cellular waste can't leave, and good things like antioxidants and all the great stuff that you are doing for your body can't always help your cell in the way it should. So once the cell receptors are cleaned by the essential oils, cellular communication is restored. And like a good marriage, where a husband and wife need great communication, our cells need to communicate well too. They need to be able to signal things to our brain. Our nervous system needs to be able to function well. And of course, all of our body systems need to communicate and communicate again with that brain and central nervous system. So what I want you to think about, guys, is that little tiny molecule, like how small is it to be able to permeate that membrane and get to everything in our bodies? In about 20 minutes, 1 drop of essential oil can reach every single cell in your entire body. Super cool fact. As soon as it touches your skin, in 26 seconds, that essential oil is going to absorb into your skin and hit your bloodstream. That also means that shampoo you use on your hair that says you're going to get an herbal experience and nothing about it is natural or refreshing, if you really think about it from a nature standpoint, that's also getting into your bloodstream. Hand sanitizers, Bath and Body Works lotions, anything you're using. And same thing with when you inhale it. When you inhale a synthetic fragrance like a candle or a Glade plug-in, it's getting right into your bloodstream in really even less than 26 seconds when we're talking about inhalation. So very wonderful fact for essential oils, very scary fact when you think about all the things that we are around every day. The next thing that I want to actually mention with that is that each drop of essential oil actually has 20 million trillion molecules in 1 drop of essential oil. It's a crazy fact, but you can look it up. It's awesome. And that's more more molecules in 1 drop of oil than cells in our body. And that's how in 20 minutes, every single cell can be affected. Pretty neat stuff about essential oils. And I want to talk to you about, they sound great. They help us. They help really help us live or walk a healthy path and live in a way where we shouldn't be afraid about what we're using on and in our bodies if we're knowing that it's made with essential oils, that we know where they come from. But I want to talk to you a little about why it's so important to know where you get that important lifeblood of the plant, where you get that material, where you get your lavender, where you get, what you use to ease occasional stomach discomfort, where you get the oils you make to put on your children, to put in your own bath. So I want you to think about this. Young Living is the oldest essential oil company in North America. Formally been around for 21 years, but been around informally for about 26. Gary Young founded the company, and he is a cowboy and a farmer and really a pretty sciencey guy, not a marketing person. And what I mean by that is I love the story of Young Living, and I love that he studied under just so many different people around the world to learn the art of distillation and perfect it and give us what he truly calls, God's love in a bottle of oil. And the mission of the company is to have essential oils in every home and to help people learn about their bodies, become aware, and really use amazing products on themselves. So Young Living has farms, 9 of them around the world that you can actually go visit that are owned. And that means you can go in and you can tour the farm, you can put your hands in the dirt, you can be part of the bottling process, you can visit it. And I love that I visited 4 farms. I'm going to Ecuador in actually less than a month now to actually visit our farm there and learn more about the process of how we go about making our oils and visiting it and learning, of course, new advances and new things that we have going on at each of our farms around the world. So what I want to talk to you guys about how amazing this is that this open process, like that's not normal in a company at all. I love my iPhone right here, but I'm pretty sure I can't just walk into Apple and let them, make me an iPhone that then I get to take away. They're not going to tell me the ins and outs. They're going to not have that open policy. And so I love that we have over $1 billion company now. We still have that transparency in the company. And the reason that's so important is that the FDA does not regulate the supplements industry. So if you go to your health food store, and I love my local health food store, but I know that they're not experts in every product in there. And if I go there and I just pick up a random bottle of $6 lavender and it says on the back, do not ingest and made in America, and it just kind of says this generic labeling, but also says 100% pure, it's pretty scary. And that's because the FDA doesn't regulate the industry, and that means anyone can say anything's pure if only 1 drop out of every 100. So that means 1% is actually anything to do with lavender. So guys, that's pretty scary. That means if you go buy deodorant that says, tea tree oil deodorant, like what's actually in there? Where do they get that oil? It's very easy to mimic naturally occurring constituents of essential oils in laboratories, and that's why it's just so important you visit seed2seal.com, learn about the Seed to Seal process of Young Living, and rest assured that when you buy an oil from Young Living, the company is going to be transparent in where they get it and in the process, and we can stand behind it and back it and know that that is actually something that you want your family to be using on their skin and their bodies and smelling. You probably don't want them to use that junk that can do a lot worse things for them than maybe even a fully synthetic product. So let me warn you, everything I talk about today is Young Living essential oils only. And I can't wait for you to visit that site and learn more about this amazing company that I have a huge heart for and a huge passion for. Why it's called Seed to Seal is the actual seed, the first seeds that came to our country with Gary Young over 20 years ago. He brought them back from France in his boot. He brought back those lavender seeds and planted them, at our farm, actually at St. Mary's Farm in Idaho. And it's pretty amazing, guys, because those seeds, he knew exactly where they came from. That's why it's so important to know where they came from, where you're planting them, what you're actually using on them to control any pests that may come about. And we use a process that's beyond organic in our farming. And that means it goes beyond the standards that we actually even have for saying things are organic in our country. Pretty amazing. And I encourage you, again, visit that website. So how in the world do you use these oils? So yeah, Ashley, it's awesome. Young Living sounds awesome. Yep, oils sound awesome. What in the world do we do with them? So the first thing, and the thing that I think we're all most familiar with because we use a lot of products this way, is literally topically, so right on our skin. So if I use lavender topically, this is actually Thieves, sorry. If I use lavender topically and I put it directly on my skin, that means I'm taking a drop and I'm literally putting it on my skin, guys, without a carrier oil. So it's called neat when you use an oil directly on your skin. And neat, again, directly on, undiluted. When you dilute it with a carrier oil, and that would be a fatty oil, like coconut, jojoba, avocado, sweet almond, so many carrier oils. When you're doing that, you're not diluting its effectiveness. You are actually taking it and you're making it spread out over a larger area. And you're also making it act like a time release because that fatty oil has larger molecules in it that evaporate slower into your skin. So you're actually making it stay on the surface of the skin longer and act as a time release into your bloodstream. A great way to also use carrier oils and essential oils is if an oil feels hot to the touch to your skin, maybe like Thieves or peppermint from the kit, a little spicy, maybe a little warm, you can then put a drop on, and if it gets a little red or causes irritation, you can take a drop or a drop or two of carrier oil and put it on over top. I do always dilute, make a lot of pre-made roll-ons and dilute a lot with my kids. I would also say diluting is a great way to go when you're first getting used to them. So you're using a minimal amount until your body adjusts to having those naturally cleansing constituents of essential oil and not those junky, like petrochemicals or other things that you already have in your body. The other thing I want to go ahead and be upfront about, and I think it's a great time to talk about this, is with topical application, I would say, of course, you want to watch out for things being warm to the touch, but also you want to watch out for like having peppermint on your hands, then touching your eye. You want to watch out for saying, oh, I have a little discomfort in my ear, I'm going to dump some stuff down there for it. No, guys. No, no, no. Never ever. Go ahead, say it back to me. Never ever put an essential oil into your eye. And that's because oil and water do not mix. Your eye is very water-based, guys. So you want to make sure you're not going to get anything in your eye. And if you do, you grab a fatty substance like a carrier oil, and you're just going to take that carrier oil, put it in your eye, and get that essential oil out. What's amazing is that essential oils are greaseless, while carrier oils are greasy. Essential oils are able to evaporate. Fatty oils, you can leave that tub of coconut oil open. I have one open my nightstand all the time. It never evaporates. That's the molecular structure, and that's because essential oils are living and they are volatile. They are the lifeblood, again, of the plant. That means they are a living substance that works in our bodies constantly in that way to restore things. So the other thing that's different is fatty oils, like olive oil, I think of especially, expires, and essential oils don't have that expiration date. So it's a pretty neat way of looking at comparing the two. Topical application, again, you can dilute with essential oil, never with water, or you can apply neat. And you would do that on your skin. You could also do that specifically on the bottom of your feet via the VitaFlex points. So these points on your feet are amazing. They correlate to every system in your body. So you can't touch your stomach necessarily, can't touch your ovaries necessarily. I'm not trying to be funny, I'm serious. But you can actually look up, and you can Google VitaFlex point chart, but you can actually look at the body system you're trying to affect and apply the oil that way to make sure it gets into your system where you want it to. Pretty neat. A great one too is like big toe is brain function. So for alertness, clarity, concentration, I love to apply to my big toe. The second way you can use essential oils is through direct inhalation. That simply means taking a bottle, so a peppermint right here. Peppermint really helps me, helps open up my mind, helps open up my chest. I love the way it makes me feel. Sometimes I can just directly inhale that bottle. I'm not even using a drop, so it's basically free. And I want you to think about the reason that works is that our limbic region of our brain, which is our seat of emotions, whole bunch of cool science behind that if you want to look it up, it is affected very, very much by the sense of smell. So your sense of smell is keen to your emotional center of your brain, and those two are linked indisputably. So sometimes when we look at essential oils, we're going to find that they are emotionally, or they cause an emotional reaction much quicker than a physiological reaction. So when I smell that peppermint, it also brings me to a time where I know I run faster when I inhale peppermint, brings good thoughts, clarity, focus around that area. And I love that because it also means if you smell something like apple pie and your grandma cooked apple pie, that recall, it's going to flood right into your brain. So when you're getting rid of a negative emotions or trying to bring about positive emotions, smelling directly from the bottle can definitely help. And that also is because your olfactory system, which is when we're inhaling oils directly into our nose, they are going directly into our brain because our brain is open directly to the surrounding area through our nose, guys. That also would explain why when you have a plug-in in your house and after a couple days you can't smell that joker and you got to get like a little switcheroo and switch it around, that's because they contain formaldehyde. Yeah, the stuff we use to embalm bodies. Might be naturally occurring, but that doesn't mean we want it. So what happens is that formaldehyde causes our nerve endings in our olfactory system to become deadened, and then we can't smell anymore. I really want you to think about that. Think about the sprays you use in your house. Think about the candles. Think about the fact that it can say natural fragrance, and that can actually mean there are up to 3,000 chemical constituents in that natural fragrance that can be made and labeled under natural fragrance, and a lot of them are known, they're known carcinogens, guys. Get that junk out of your house. Directly inhale from the bottle or use a diffuser. And a diffuser within Living, I don't have mine up here, but there's the Dewdrop, the Home Diffuser, the Aria, the Rainstone, all of those are options in the Premium Starter Kit. And when you diffuse, what you're actually doing is you're disseminating tiny, tiny drops of essential oil, those molecules, all throughout your home, all throughout the air. So not only are you, cleaning and purifying the air when you diffuse, which is the third way you can use essential oils, but you're also affecting mood because then everyone's smelling the oil. You're also really helping to support your health because these oils are going to get into your body and they're really going to work. So I want you to think about using that diffuser to support your overall health, to affect mood, and of course, to really help purify the air and the environment. And the last real benefit of diffusing, I would say if you like a certain scent, like I love Christmas candles, I should say loved, I haven't used them in a few years. So I diffuse an oil called Christmas Spirit, or I do Thieves and Orange together, and it still gives me that Christmassy smell. And the reason I love it, guys, is that recall, that emotional center, and I'm still able to access that even though I no longer have those candles in my home. Okay? And the last way is actually internal usage of an essential oil. I like to use my oils internally to support a lot of my specific body systems. I love to actually I have glass right here. So if you're ever drinking essential oils, you always want to do it out of glass, never plastic. And that's because essential oils do dissolve petrochemicals. They will eat right through, one drop, right through your plastic or styrofoam cup. So the reason I drink lemon in my water, and this will help us, really go through lemon when we get to it too, is I like to support that gentle detox and cleansing of my entire body. So I drink that every day, and that's one way I ingest essential oils. You can make a hot tea with a lot of essential oils. You can also take a clear veggie capsule, like with Digest. I really don't enjoy the way it tastes, but I can take a clear veggie capsule you can buy from your health food store, Amazon, or Young Living, and fill it up with an oil and then take it that way. And that's also a familiar way for most people to be taking things to support their body. Are you following me? So I want you to think about that. So it's a great way to take them. Or, of course, cooking with essential oils. Who doesn't love that? It's so much fun to cook with them. They flavor things so well. And it's a great way also to make sure you know what you're putting in your cooking. So now that we talked about how to use them, let's go ahead and get into the fun part, guys. Who wants to see this beautiful kit? So when you get the box that comes with your premium starter kit, lift off the shield, then you open up this beautiful, beautiful packaging, and you actually get to lift out these essential oils. And that's what we're going to be talking about now. So I want to go first, and I'm going to be mentioning some different naturally occurring chemical constituents of essential oils. I encourage you, since we're trying to be pretty quick, if you want to go ahead and just write down very quickly, write down what the constituents are so you can go back and look them up later, because of course I don't have that time to go into detail. Lavender is the first one. Lavender is the Swiss Army knife of oils. Lavender is amazing. I love it because it's a calming and relaxing scent. I love to diffuse it at night or during transition times, like to nap time, to move into something else. I love to take Epsom salts, and y'all, this is so awesome, and dump some lavender, like 10 drops of lavender in with a cup of Epsom salts, and it's a great relaxing bath, great for soothing, pre-bedtime, or it's even great if you have sore muscles, and that's because it's a great relaxant. So think about that with smooth muscle tissue. I also love to add it to all of my skincare products, all my shampoo, lotion. It's a key ingredient in many, many skincare products in Young Living. Their pre-made line of lotions and shampoo, conditioner, lip balm, so many things that it's in. So something that's pretty cool too is you can add it to your mascara, and it really helps you have thick, luscious lashes. You can put it on some wool dryer balls, all kinds of things you can do with laundry and lavender. And also, when you have this, you can create your own linen spray if you love that lavender scent. So it's a great one. I just love lavender because it's versatility, and I also love that it's pretty gentle and I can use it directly on my kids. There we go. Peppermint. I'm saying here we go because peppermint, this is a fun one. I kind of already talked about it. So peppermint is a great one that can actually curb your desire to snack. So if you feel like you need a snack, you can actually put a drop on your tongue. It's really going to curb that desire, but it's also going to help with just making you feel very open in your chest. I love the way it makes me feel there. It supports healthy bowel function if you need some help in that area. It's actually a key ingredient in Digest and Cleanse. So Digest and Cleanse is actually for supporting your colon health. So it's a good one to look at there. It may support performance during exercise. I know for me, I do like a drop of it on my tongue before I run. And it's also wonderful in an herbal tea to help soothe those occasional, upset tummy or any kind of digestive tract or occasional issue there. It's going to help support that system. It's also one that I simply love. I wrote a recipe down I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, yeah, sorry. But it's 1/8 of a teaspoon to each teaspoon of peppermint extract. So if you ever cook with peppermint, and I had that because I always feel like I can't do the conversions well, but it's a wonderful one. I love to add it to brownies. I love to add it to peppermint hot chocolate. It's a great one. Again, it's going to really help you get that flavor in that you might be missing, and you have none of that synthetic alcohol-based extract or vanilla flavoring. I just love peppermint. Also, do you know it takes, ready for this? Ready? So a 15 ml bottle, which is 3 times the size of the 5 ml, it actually takes a whole pound of raw peppermint to make that. A pound. And you got to think about how light those leaves are. So it's a whole lot of peppermint to make 1 pound. Lemon, I was saying it's one that I love just smelling. I love to taste it in food. It's a bright, cheerful, uplifting, happy, fresh taste. It is a great for your urinary system. It's also one that supports occasional digestive discomfort. It's one that I also find is really great for your teeth. It's going to be brightening and whitening. So you can add that to some baking soda or to your toothpaste and then go ahead and brush with it. It's actually a key ingredient in Ningxia Red and Dentronome Plus and an inner defense. So inner defense is going to be great for supporting your immune system. And that's a capsule that Young Living has for you in the supplement line. It contains the naturally occurring constituent D-limonene. Look that up. You want to know what that constituent does. It's pretty amazing, the research behind that. It's also one that's great to remove sticky residue naturally, like maybe you have a sticker on the bottom of a glass or somebody has gum in their hair or something. It's going to get that sticky nastiness out right away. It's also a wonderful one for cleaning. It's going to help you get a clean, fresh scent, but it's also, again, because of that stickiness and how it's able to counteract that, eat those petrochemicals up, it's very helpful. And it does take 75 lemons to make one 15 ml bottle. So very, very potent. Which one do we want to do next? So weird. Now can't see what I'm doing over here. I'm digging in it. Frankincense. Ooh, frankincense. All I knew about frankincense, I was like, they gave it to baby Jesus. 3 wise men had it. They gave it to baby Jesus. It must be incredible. What do I do with frankincense? Frankincense is made from the boswellia tree. It actually is harvested from our farm in Oman. So frankincense is a very rare oil, very expensive oil, and it is one that I absolutely cannot imagine my life without. I use it all up and down the spines of my children. It's great for relaxing, grounding in that way. I use it on my face and all of my homemade products, and I like to use it there because it actually is known to have a visual tightening effect on your face. So you should probably use it, because who wants wrinkles? I know I don't. So I love to use it on my face, sometimes even neat on specific areas, but I do add it to my face cream, or I add it actually as an extra on top of what's already in there in the Art skincare system. It contains the naturally occurring chemical constituent alpha-pinene, and you want to go ahead and take a note, look that up later on. It's also great for massage after physical activity, and it's in several different blends from Young Living. I took a note of that too to tell you guys. So it's in Brain Power, Awaken, Highest Potential, and Forgiveness. I love to add this to a carrier oil with lavender, and that's a great face serum, and you can also add rose for even more of a great effect on your skin. Skin drinks it right up, guys. Okay, RC. So RC is the first of our blends that we're going to talk about today. And RC, I love. It's an invigorating scent. So this is one that is for aromatic or topical use. I love to pop this one in the diffuser. It really helps my baby sleep through the night because it helps him breathe a lot easier and breathe more frequently. I do like adding it to a hot bowl of steaming water and using something called tenting, where you're going to take a piece of material or a towel, put it over your head, and breathe in those vapors. And it's really going to help just open you up and be very supportive in that manner. If you diffuse RC at bedtime, I was saying how I use it for my baby, but it's also for me, it's a very comforting aroma. But I will say before workout, I like to put it on my chest, make a natural chest rub. You can use it on your kids too. I use it on myself, on my feet, and my chest, and it really helps just feel open and ready to go. So in the ingredients in this one, and I wanted to read these to you guys, Eucalyptus globulus, it's myrtle, marjoram, pine, Eucalyptus radiata, Eucalyptus citrodorna, lavender, cypress, black spruce, and peppermint are all in RC. So a ton of oils in that one. It's definitely a powerful, powerful little oil that we love in our household. Copaiba. So copaiba, whew, we love this oil. I think this is pretty cool because it's pronounced Copaiba, which is crazy because it's spelled, looks like Copaiba, right? So what's pretty neat about this one is you can actually add it to your water. Don't really like it that way, but you can add it to your milk. A lot of people like to do, and it has a pretty interesting flavor that way because it's kind of a nutty, earthy flavor. Or take honey and make a tea with Copaiba. And the reason you would want to do that is it's very important to get this as part of your daily health regime because it just is soothing to so many of your body systems. It's really going to help them work in an optimal manner for daily living and functioning, no matter who you are. And that's because it actually contains like so much of all the oils. This contains the most beta-caryophyllene. Beta-caryophyllene. It also contains alpha-humine, or excuse me, it's alpha-humulene. I can never say it right. It's alpha-humulene. So both of those naturally occurring constituents are pretty awesome. It's actually also in the topical usage, deep relief. So if you want you to think about what that does for your muscles, you can think about just the powerfulness behind this oil of Copaiba. It's also one that is a great magnifier of other oils. So it's going to make you have to use less of other oils if you also add in some Copaiba. And Copaíba has been being distilled and collected by Brazil specifically since the 16th century, and it's actually tapped from the trees like maple syrup. So pretty cool oil. Purification. All things stinky. Got stinky kids, stinky laundry, stinky shoes, all things stinky. Stinky pets. I love to use this one on anything stinky. I add a couple drops of it to each load of laundry I do. It's actually a great one to add. If you don't have wool dryer balls, you can actually add it to a cloth to serve in that manner, or even to a wet cloth directly in the laundry itself. It does contain some naturally occurring compounds that are pretty cool. If you want to look those up, it contains Nerol and also contains Geranol. If you want to look up either one of those, they're pretty neat. I also like to take a couple different cotton balls and stick those maybe behind your toilet, your air vents in your car, because you're going to get that really cleansing scent. It's going to be fresh smelling. It's going to help get out the nastiness that could be in there. It's also a great one to put with some baking soda and put that baking soda and purification mixture on your carpet before you vacuum or in the bottom of your trash cans to really freshen things up. You can add it also to a carrier oil, and it's great for a soothing foot massage. And it's going to be great also because it's going to have those awesome ingredients that are getting into your skin and helping protect and really keep your skin great on your feet and healthy. Purification in the summer, I love to diffuse purification. It really helps the outdoors stay annoyance free in the summer. If I'm using it on my body, it really helps those annoyances go away. It also is a great one to diffuse. If you're eating outside, you can kind of have an extension cord or put it out the window to help that area stay annoyance free as well. Next one we're going to go to is Pan-Away. I love Pan-Away. I ran a half marathon yesterday, and Pan-Away is my buddy. Use it to help with just supporting that muscular skeletal system from the outside, putting it all over me. I love to keep it in my gym bag. I love to keep it in my car. I love to use it a lot. I mean, I really do. And just the occasional discomforts in general. It creates a spa-like atmosphere. If you diffuse it, it also is wonderful diffusing. It smells great, but it's an expensive oil, so I usually am applying it topically. If you put 2 or 3 drops into your hands, you can also just smell it. It's really going to be a great one. Inhale deeply. It's going to help open up things for you and just be a great invigorating smell. Apply it to your muscles. You could also add it to whipped coconut oil to just make a very luxurious post-workout cream, or if you're someone that maybe just needs some extra, soothing on your muscles, you can do it that way. Or you can add it, of course, without whipping it. You can just add it directly with the carrier oil to your muscles. It contains wintergreen, helichrysum, clove, and peppermint. So helichrysum is a key ingredient in there. That's a pretty amazing ingredient if you want to look at that oil as a single as well. Excuse me. Next we have Thieves. Thieves is one that a lot of you have probably heard about. I love this one because it supports healthy immune function. It's one that actually is pretty legendary in that area. You can add 1 to 2 drops of Thieves to warm water with some honey and maybe even some lemon essential oil. It's going to be this great wellness tea. Actually, no tea in it. The Thieves is what makes that tea. It's also an excellent cleaner and degreaser. So Thieves is excellent for cleaning. It's actually, there's a whole line. Thieves household cleaner, Thieves toothpaste, Thieves hand purifier, Thieves spray. So I love this because it's what I use in place of a lot of those chemical-filled products in my home. It's absolutely the only thing we use to clean our home, the Thieves household cleaner, and you can make your own with Thieves essential oil. It's also wonderful with this one to look at the other ways you can use it. You can put a drop or 2 in your Ningxia Red to support your immune system daily. You can add it to maybe coffee if you're making homemade coffee creamer. Just so many things you can do to make sure you get this in and on your body every day. I definitely know this is one for me during this time of the year. I love to have a drop of it. I sometimes even open up the bottle, and at the slightest tickle in my throat, I just put a drop directly in the back of my throat. And you're going to do that pretty constantly until that yuckiness you might have coming on subsides. So there is a legend of the 4 thieves. So in the 15th century, there's a lot of awful things going on, and we had these guys out there just robbing all the people that were suffering during that time, and they happened to stay alive while everyone else died. And when they were apprehended, they actually said, "What's your secret?" And they said, "We're spice traders." Yeah, they're spice traders, and they coated themselves with eucalyptus and clove and cinnamon bark and rosemary and lemon, and they were able to stay well. So pretty amazing, because that's what our Thieves essential oil is modeled after. The last oil that's known as one of the regular oils of the kit is actually DiGize. So DiGize has a whole bunch of oils. It has tarragon, it has ginger, anise, peppermint, lemongrass, fennel, patchouli, and I'm totally forgetting one, juniper. So this one is one that is great for supporting your digestive tract. It's great for daily wellness, especially for someone who really needs support in that area. You can put it in a clear veggie capsule. You can put it in some honey. It's great to actually do 2 to 3 drops and add it in your water. It's also great to do directly on your tongue after a meal. So when I'm traveling overseas, I definitely do that. It's also an ideal oil to nutritional supplements like Comfortone, Essential Zyme 4. It's also one that if you add 1 to 2 drops with peppermint and then you have it in your water, it's going to be a stimulating drink, and it's also going to support your digestive tract at the same time. It also contains menthol and contains a couple other naturally occurring constituents that are going to help in certain areas of targeted support. So next, and this is one of my favorites, when you open up this beautiful premium starter kit, you actually lift off this little layer, and then you have a whole bunch of goodies under here. One of them is Stress Away. So Stress Away, I pop my roller fitment on the top of here. So actually you can just roll it on. Here you go, buddy. And what I like to say about this is traffic. 3 kids at the grocery store. Locking your keys in the car. Y'all follow me? Smells like lime, which reminds me of a margarita, which in turn reminds me of the beach. Because, I mean, clearly with 3 kids, I'm sitting on the beach sipping margaritas. No, but I can pretend like I am. So with Stress Away, it actually contains copaiba, lime, vanilla essential oil, cedarwood, ocotea, and lavender. It also will help really curb stress eating, and that's because the constituents in it are going to help with satiation. They're really going to help you reach for something different in the afternoon instead of maybe that chocolate or that snack. It's a wonderful one. It's a complement to your regimen that you're using for stress management, and I would encourage you to give it a try. It's also pretty fun because it is a very gender-neutral fragrance. You can actually just use it as a perfume to help you all the time have those healthy cortisol levels in your body. Something else that's cool is in the Premium Starter Kit, you actually get 2 packets of Ningxia Red to try. Yeah, Ningxia Red is actually made from the wolfberry, and this was when Gary Young was about searching the world for cultures that were full of vitality and life and just exuberated wellness, and he found that in China, in the Ningxia province, this is what they were doing. They were consuming all these whole wolfberries or wolfberry puree. It contains a ton of naturally occurring antioxidant power, contains more vegetables than I could ever eat in one day, and actually is going to help support normal eye health, pretty important to most of us, especially as we age. It helps prevent against oxidative stress. And it's also one that is known for improvement in cellular function and supporting normal cellular function. Very important. We want our cells to be healthy and normal, guys. And it also, with that, helps energize, revitalize, and fortify your body in all areas. So a great addition to your everyday regimen. Get these 2 packets, pop them in the refrigerator, take 1 a day, and tell us how you feel. And once you start on Ningxia Red, you're just going to notice an improvement in your overall health. And really, I noticed an overall improvement in my energy. So it's a whole body nutrient infused thing, drink, excuse me. And I must be talking too much. I'm getting out of breath here. It's terrible. So how in the world, guys, how in the world do you get your hands on all this awesome stuff? Well, I'm going to tell you 2 ways. The first way is just so silly, but I feel like I should mention it. I probably have like 2 people out of a few thousand that have done it. You can become a retail customer. You can say, hey, I just want to buy a bottle of frankincense. And after, tax and shipping, you'd spend over $100 on frankincense. Or maybe you just want lemon, and lemon's pretty inexpensive. So as a retail customer, you'd spend like $25 after tax and shipping on lemon. But what I will tell you is the key, if you are serious about taking charge of your family's wellness and ditching all those nasty toxins, is getting your hands on this 2-box kit. By buying the Premium Starter Kit as a wholesale member, you get this whole box with all the oils, and you actually get something really cool that I forgot to tell you about. You get something called the Love It, Share It program from Young Living. So you get your oils, and you love your oils. Well, why not share them? Just like you recommend a restaurant or a museum or a neighborhood to those you love, when you get your essential oils, you're going to want others to be able to get their hands on them. So Young Living has given us a really cool tool for this. We have different cards of 5 different popular essential oils and 10 different bottles. You can fit about 10 to 20 drops in here, and if your friend loves your frankincense, why not share it? So you give them 10 drops of frankincense in this little bottle. You give them a usage card that's pre-printed for you by Young Living and tells them all about how to use that oil. Yeah, all the usage around here, it's pretty awesome. Then what's great about this is then when they're ready to purchase, we can help you understand that you're the one who's able to help them purchase. So by becoming a wholesale member, you're buying your kit for personal usage, but you're able to share and you get compensated for sharing. And I love that about our company. I just love that it's open and it's easy for anyone to get their hands on these oils and share them with the world, help spread that mission of wellness. So what you do is for only $160, you get all these oils, a lifetime wholesale membership, a discount of 24%, and the gorgeous home or dewdrop diffuser. Those diffusers are worth $100 by themselves. So it's like Black Friday every day with Young Living. It's over a $319 value. So it's simply a deal. And you will be so happy that you made this decision. I also will show you guys, you can get the Aria or the bamboo or the actual Rainstone diffuser, but the prices are a little different. So I didn't want to be too confusing on here. What else you can do with your, when you become a member of Young Living, because I know everybody watching this, you're definitely going to want to get your hands on this stuff, is you can be part of what we call our customer loyalty program or our rewards program. And that is an awesome program. You get something shipped to your house every single month. You change the date, you change the products. It only has to be $50 worth of products for Young Living. Those could be our essential oil infused supplements, our cleaning products, beauty products, or of course oils themselves. So please ask whoever sent you this video all about Essential Rewards and how you can jump on that program today and start earning 10% back the first 6 months, 15% back months 7 through 12, and then a whopping 20% back after you've been with the program for a year or more. I hope you guys will take advantage, of course, of this information and of that program and just of all of the online education we tend to offer here at our team, Healthy in a Hurry Essential Oils. If you want to visit theoilyangels.com, there's lots of helpful information there. My blog has a little bit on there too, and that would be healthyinahurryeo.com. I'm so thankful that you are here. I want you to jump right on your computer, and whoever sent you this video, they should be sending you a link to click on and become a wholesale member today. I can't wait to get started on this journey with you, and I thank you for your time and your commitment to this journey of health and wellness. Thank you so much. And again, I appreciate it, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Ashley Boyd D on Facebook, and you can find me at healthyinahurryeo@gmail.com if you want to email me. Thanks, you guys.